Welcome, everybody. I'm Chris Mazzella with CFES Brilliant Pathways, and we're excited to host Potsdam State as not only as a CFES partner, but to do a virtual college tour for our students to learn about a wonderful liberal arts college in Northern New York. We're going to have multiple speakers, and I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. Alex, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Martin. I am an admissions counselor for SUNY Potsdam. I work with students primarily from the North Country regions. I'm also a native of the North Country. I grew up in St. Lawrence County. So I'm really looking forward to presenting to some of you guys today and walking you through our campus with the virtual tour.
Toby?
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Toby White. I'm the Director of Experiential Education within the Lougheed Center for Applied Learning. So with my colleague, Alex, I'm going to take you on the journey of why applied learning would be really important if you were thinking about coming to SUNY Potsdam or actually any journey that you're doing in your career. So I'll do the piece on applied learning, and Alex is going to take you through the entire journey in SUNY Potsdam. So welcome, everyone.
All right. We're really excited about this. I am an alumnus of Potsdam, 1987 graduate and a 1988 master's graduate. It's a wonderful place, and I'm looking forward to hearing about applied learning as well as the tour from Alex. So Alex, if you want to take over, that's wonderful.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. So I'm going to start, everybody. I'm going to share my screen, and I actually have a short video from our president that I want to play and share with everybody. So can I just get a thumbs up? Can you guys see? Perfect. All right. You know what I didn't do? Hang on, I got to start over. I have to make sure I share it with my audio.
Yes, that good point. I forget that sometimes myself, so good point.
Yep. All right, we're going to go. Here we go.
Greetings. My name is Kristen Esterberg, and I'm the very proud president of SUNY Potsdam. I want to share with you today some of the things that I love most about SUNY Potsdam. Now, it's not that we're #1 in food service for SUNY, which we are. We have an amazing food service, and students grow greens in our Weiser greenhouse, which then are served throughout our award-winning dining service. But it's not the fact that we're #1 in SUNY for dining that I love most. It's not the fact that we're rated very, very highly for our arts facilities in SUNY, which we are. We have this amazing performing arts facility. We have these amazing concert halls, beautiful, beautiful graphic design facilities. And it's not those facilities that I love most about SUNY Potsdam, but those are amazing things indeed. It's not the fact that we're a leader in applied learning throughout SUNY. A couple of years ago, we received an historic $5.25 million gift to establish the Lougheed Center for Applied Learning. And what this means is that every student has the opportunity to engage in applied learning here at SUNY Potsdam. Now that might mean they go study abroad in the United Kingdom, in Portugal or Spain. It might mean that they do an internship. For example, our music business students every year go to the North American Music Merchants Association. Or it might mean that they're doing research with a faculty member. Our chemistry students do work with Dr. Fadi Abdallah, and some of that work is published in real scientific journals. It's an amazing thing that students do. So for example, it's maple sugaring season right now. Typically, during maple sugaring season, our students are out there tapping trees and boiling sap along with Professor Tim Messner in the anthropology department. We work hard to make sure that every student has the ability to learn, apply what they're learning in the classroom in a real world setting. But that's not the thing that I love most about SUNY Potsdam. What I love most about SUNY Potsdam is the faculty. It's the fact that when a student comes to SUNY Potsdam, they're spending time with real faculty who love to teach, and they're engaged with their faculty both in and out of the classroom. My youngest child is a junior here at SUNY Potsdam, and I can tell you from personal experience that they're getting an amazing experience both in the classroom and out. These are some of the things that I love most about SUNY Potsdam. I hope you'll see for yourself what makes SUNY Potsdam so special. Thank you.
Awesome. So that was just kind of a brief introduction from President Esterberg herself to kind of just give you guys a brief idea, about SUNY Potsdam. There's some good visuals in there. Lots of talk about applied learning, which Toby's going to get into in a few minutes. But first, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again with everybody, and we're going to get started and walk through the virtual tour here at SUNY Potsdam. So we're actually going to start. If you guys can see my screen, we are looking at Satterley Hall. This is kind of the flagship building at SUNY Potsdam, and we can actually take a panoramic view here of our academic quad. This is going to be where commencement ceremonies are held. You'll see students often pass through here between classes, like you can see in this picture. You'll often see students out here studying, learning on a nice sunny day. The Lougheed Learning Commons right across from Satterley Hall. So again, this just kind of gives you a nice panoramic view of our academic quad. Satterley Hall in front of us is actually going to be the home to a lot of our education classes. And there is a picture within Satterley that I want to show you guys. So I want to just show this aerial view again, kind of from the top of the academic quad. This is a beautiful picture for those of you that haven't had a chance to visit SUNY Potsdam. I know you guys are from the North Country area, but you can see the Racket River right behind campus. And again, it just gives you a really great view of what the quad looks like. And you get that good view of Satterley Hall and Flag and Brainerd as well. So we're gonna keep on moving and go forward over to Brainerd Hall, which is going to be the home to a lot of our different art programs on campus. We are one of 3 SUNY art schools. So if any of you are interested in maybe it's an art studio, maybe it's theater, dance, music, anything like that, just know that Potsdam is a great place to be. This picture here that we're seeing within Brainerd Hall is an example of one of our art studios and kind of what it looks like. You can see students working on their paintings in here. Up top, you can't see it great, but all of our studios have natural skylit lighting that comes through down to them. So it really is a great place to work and have that good natural light when you're working within the art studios. I think there was a picture I wanted to show within here as well. Again, so this is the same picture that we saw before, but we also have an art gallery on campus as well. So again, a great place to be if you're interested in maybe curation or museum studies. Again, one of our popular minors on campus. So you can see this is the Gibson Gallery. It's actually ran by students and it features a lot of students' work within it as well. So this can be found within Brainerd Hall as well. So we're gonna move along and I'm gonna let, let's see, oh, I went the wrong way. Sorry, everyone. So we're gonna go over to the Lougheed Learning Commons, and Toby, if you want to chime in, I can kind of click through some photos and you can talk about applied learning at SUNY Potsdam.
Sure. Well, this is what the president was alluding to in her comments to everybody today, which I thought was just wonderful, is that, yes, the Commons has been renamed by the Lougheed Learning Commons, and we got a wonderful grant for, well, it's not a grant, it's an endowment for applied learning. So we have $5.25 million to help our faculty and students and staff in that part from the Lougheeds. But wasn't mentioned also is we also have $2 million from the Dorfs. It's another endowment. So we're up to 7.25. And just to top it off, we got a Stradling endowment for 1.25 million for study abroad. So what I'm telling you right now, folks, if you come to SUNY Potsdam, we can help you with applied learning. So I'll just give a little bit of background and I'll come back in and do a little bit more because I'd like to share a screen with you later once we go through. But applied learning is really these things. It is internships. It's study abroad, study away is what we call it, because you can study away in the United States too. I mean, what a cool thing to maybe be able to study in Florida during the spring sometime. It can happen. You can also go to Hawaii, which is great. So we have internship, study abroad, study away. We have research. We have an honors program. We have career services here. I have service learning programs. I have volunteerism programs. We have the Law Enforcement Training Institute. We have ways for you to engage in your career. All right, so that's what I'll talk about even a little bit more later, so Alice can continue on the tour, but it's in that Lougheed. That's where I'm located. I'm actually in it right now. I'm in my office. This is where the Lougheed Center for Applied Learning is within the actual Lougheed Learning Commons. So thanks for a little time, Alex. I appreciate it. I'll get back to a little bit more details later.
Okay, sounds good, Toby. Thank you. So again, these are some photos within the Lougheed Learning Center. You can see there's two different types of learning centers within the library. You have group study learning on one side and then more independent learning on the other. It's a huge, huge place. The upstairs of the library has tons of academic resources for students to use. We have Minerva's Cafe located within the library as well if you need a quick snack or anything like that. And then this would be a photo of that group learning style that that I was referencing. So we'll keep moving on. I know Toby's going to go into a lot more detail regarding applied learning a little bit later. So moving on, we are going to move into Becky's Place and also Raymond Hall within SUNY Potsdam. So Becky's Place is actually one of our newer eateries within on campus. We actually have 7 different dining facilities for you to choose from. As you heard President Esterberg state in her video, you know, we have been rated #1 within the SUNY system for food. So, you know, freshman 15 is a real thing. Students, you know, they really do seem to like the food on campus, even faculty and staff. I myself, I'll eat over at Becky's, you know, once a week. So, you know, when you see people staying on campus to eat, it really resonates and says, you know, oh, okay, you know, the food is good here. So this is just an example of what one of the eateries might look like. Becky's is more of a pick up and go type place to the left over here. Let's see if it's in this. Yeah, so there is a little seating area to the left of Becky's Place. And then over here to the right, there is a Tim Hortons little pop-up shop as well. So again, if any of you guys are hooked on your caffeine yet, just know that we do have both a Tim Hortons and a Starbucks on campus as well. And so I'll just show what Raymond Hall. This is part of this virtual tour. So Raymond Hall is actually it's actually the tallest building in St. Lawrence County. Fun fact. There's 8 floors in this building. The top floor, if you ever get a chance to go up to the 8th floor lounge on Raymond Hall, you get a really good bird's eye view of the whole campus. But this is going to be the home to a lot of your administrative offices on campus. The Office of Admissions, we're right on the 1st floor. So if any of you guys are ever able to come for a visit, this is the building that you'll come to. Just know that the President's office is here, the Office of Financial Aid, Student Accounts, Registrar, all of your administrative offices are going to be held in this building. So we're going to move forward to our Crane School of Music. So for any of you guys that are interested in music, maybe you've heard of Crane before, maybe your teacher, maybe your Crane, or sorry, your chorus or band teacher at your school is a Crane alumni. It's a very well-known music school. Some fun facts to know about Crane is that they are performance-based. So if anybody's thinking they'd like to get into a music program, just know that there is an audition requirement. And that Crane also is based off of the classics. So when you're thinking about music, you know, you might think, oh, I like pop, or I like jazz, or I like classics. Just know that Crane's, their teaching styles are going to be more based off of the classics. So Crane was founded in 1886 by Julia Crane, hence the name. And it is, it's absolutely beautiful inside. I'm going to show you some pictures. There's 3 recital halls within the Crane facilities. Hosmer Hall is going to be your largest one. I love that this is a panoramic photo, because if you ever get a chance to come to a concert here or a recital, anything like that, the acoustics in this room, I mean, it's unreal. You come in here and they do a Crane candlelight Christmas concert every year. It's open to the public. I highly recommend it. Again, just a beautiful recital hall. And then you can't quite see it in this panoramic, but behind the padding here, there is a large pipe organ as well. So it's pretty sweet. The second largest theater over at Crane is going to be Snell Theater. So we'll just give it a second to load. So again, it looks very similar to Hosmer. It's just on a smaller scale. Snell Theater is also used for different recitals and concerts on campus. And it's also the theater hall that's used. Crane usually does an opera production every few years, and Snell is the theater that actually that they use for the opera. And then finally, the third recital hall over in Crane is Wakefield. This is going to be the smallest and a little bit more intimate recital hall, as you can see here. It's actually kind of a cute little space for students when they need to do, you know, their recitals and different things like that. So you can see that it's quite a bit smaller than the other two. So I think there's some other photos in here that I just wanted to show real quick. So within Crane, there's different groups and ensembles that you can be a part of. Here you can see that there's an African drumming ensemble on campus. There's a lot of different, what am I trying to say? There's a lot of different a cappella groups that you can be a part of. There's a Crane choir. There's a community band on campus as well. So even if you have an interest in music, but you don't want that commitment of being in a full-fledged music program, just know that there are going to be a ton of other opportunities for you to take advantage of over at Crane. So we are going to move over. Right next door is our Performing Arts Center. This is our newest building on campus. If you ever get to come visit, you'll definitely see that this building stands out when you're walking throughout the campus. It's definitely the most modern looking building. A fun fact about the Performing Arts Center, it was actually designed to reflect the Adirondack Mountains. So if you're looking at it from outside, you'll see that it has a lot of rigid ends on it. So again, it's kind of designed to look like the mountains. It is the home to both theater and dance on campus. So there's a large proscenium theater and 2 black box theaters within this building. This is your main lobby when you come through, and you can see that proscenium is right when you come through, and then kind of on kitty corner, on each corner is the 2 black box theaters. So this kind of shows you again, inside what this proscenium theater looks like. Really state of the art, you know, all modern equipment, lights, sound, audio, all of those things. It's pretty sweet inside. And then this is an example of what one of the labs might look like over in there if you're involved in theater and dance. We offer quite a few different types of minors within theater, where you get to do like the production and kind of more of the behind the scenes type things. So you'll see that they're probably doing design type things on these computers. We also have a costume lab over at the Performing Arts Center where students can actually learn how to tailor and put together the costumes that they use within their productions. I think this is pretty sweet. You can take these types of classes too if you're interested in anything like this. And again, I just want to show you what the dance theater might look like. This is one of the black box theaters. So a lot of the dance majors are utilizing these spaces. So you can take a look and see what they look like in here. And finally, there is a recording studio over there as well. It's called Mad Stop Records. And so if you're interested in music production or recording or anything like that, just know that there is a club for that on campus, and you'll actually get to use some of the equipment that's used for those types of things. So now we're going to kind of change the pace a little bit. We're going to head out of the arts and move into the sciences. So Timmerman Hall is going to be the home to geology and physics. It was actually recently renovated, I want to say a couple of years ago now. So they went through and redid some of the classrooms and lab areas for students. You can see, you know, the large collection of rocks here when you walk into the lobby. And as you go up this hallway, there's different lecture hall classrooms and also different lab classrooms as well. So there's some really great photos in here. Again, kind of pertaining to applied learning, which I'm going to let Toby talk about here in a few minutes. But you can see we have a Geoscience Garden right on campus. So I know a lot of geology students take advantage of that. You'll see here a mineralogy class. So they have the different scopes out, taking a look at the different minerals. Archaeology and anthropology are really popular majors on campus. You can see here students are actually doing an excavation here in this photo. With geology, we've had some kids go, some students go and do some really, really cool internships in really cool places. And then with physics, again, just kind of an idea of what the lab looks like. So this is just an idea, again, of what Timmerman Hall might look like. As we move over into Stoll, Stoll is going to be the home to biology and chemistry. One thing that I really want to point out about SUNY Potsdam and our natural science programs is that we are a small school. So I forgot to mention this one at the beginning, but we have about 3,200 students on our campus. That breaks down to an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And I think that that's huge, especially when you're attending school in such a, the natural sciences have a stigma behind them that they're difficult programs. And that really translates when you're at a small school like Potsdam. The faculty members that are here in these programs, they're here for you. They work here full-time on SUNY Potsdam's campus. The majority of them are PhD holding faculty members. They have open door policies. Since so many of them are PhD faculty members, a lot of them are involved in research, and they want you to work alongside them within their research opportunities. So that's kind of my little spiel about the natural sciences as I go into biology and chemistry. What we're looking at here, this is a newer addition to campus as well. This is our Weiser Center. It's a greenhouse on campus. So for students that are in the biology department, specifically focusing on ecology and plant life, this is a really, really cool place for them to get some exposure working with plants. We also, fun fact, we offer yoga classes that are done right here in this greenhouse. So it's a really cool opportunity to kind of relax, be among the plants, have that good sunlight coming in on you as you're doing your yoga too. So there's some cool photos available within Stoll as well. So this one is going to be a general chemistry lab, so you can kind of get an idea of what they look like and the equipment available. They have the Bunsen burners, the beakers, and the storage spaces as well. So here we have another picture of the Weiser greenhouse. You'll see these microgreens. A lot of our dining facilities actually use the microgreens that are grown from the Weiser Center. We also at Weiser, they do something called a Healthy Plant Initiative. I think this is really cool. If any students living on campus or any faculty members have a plant that, maybe they're not the best caretaker for their plant and their plant seems to be dying, you can actually take it over to the Weiser Center and they will nurse it back to life for you. So I think that's pretty sweet. Again, some good pictures of students doing different applied learning activities. We'll see some beekeeping here, a student doing cancer research. Within biology, we do have a wing within Stoll that actually has small animals. So they do have like turtles, they have snakes, I think they have some birds down there. So you get the opportunity to work with some wildlife while you're there as well. And we're going to move over. This is Minerva's Plaza. This is just kind of a nice place for students to hang out in between classes on a nice day. Maybe sit down for a few minutes, catch up with a friend. It's just a pretty area on campus. This is located between Stoll and Timmerman. And then the Student Union, which I think is where we're headed next, is actually right in front of us. So this is our student union. This is going to be your major hub location for student activities on campus. Let me see if we can click on some of the photos and you can see what the inside looks like. Inside, it's kind of split onto two sides. So on one side of the student union is actually a dining facility. So this is going to be kind of like a food court style. There's different options in here. There's a salad bar. There's a burrito Mexican place. There's an Italian place. There is a grill sandwich panini place. So there's a lot of different options within the student union. The student union is a good option for students that might be looking for late night dining as well. They typically stay open quite a bit later than some of the other facilities. I think they stay open until around like 11 or 12 at night, which is nice. So within the student union, again, this is a picture of the food court that we kind of just saw, but then it's the home to all of the different clubs and organizations on campus. So this is a good representation to show you the radio station on campus. You know, they have their own space within the student union. There's also larger rooms upstairs for different events that might happen. So you can see up here the NPR. It's a good space if there's like a carnival going on or any kind of bigger event. And then you can just see here again, these are just some of the different clubs on campus. So we have the Muslim Student Association. We have another drumming group here, Taiko. I know college is so much different than high school in terms of like extracurriculars and clubs you can be a part of. So there's some really niche ones out there like Harry Potter. There's a Medieval Alliance. There's a gaming club for students that might be into esports. So again, there's a lot of different things that you can get involved in. And this student union is going to be kind of the home of where you can get involved with different clubs. It's also the home to our college bookstore. So if you ever need any Potsdam swag, if you need any books, there's also a small convenience store in there, and then also the mail room. So if you are a student on campus, this is where you would come to get your mail or any packages that have been delivered to you. So next you're probably thinking, okay, maybe I like SUNY Potsdam. What's it going to look like if I live there? So in front of us now is Bowman Hall. This is going to be the largest residential complex here at Potsdam. As you can see, I believe there's 7 floors within Bowman South, and then these wings here are known as Bowman East and West. So this is where we house our FYE or first year experience. So for any students that are incoming freshmen, Bowman is a really great option because this is where the majority of other freshman students are housed. So you're kind of all going through those transitions of coming to college together. I'll show you some photos of what a typical first year student might look like. So here is what your room would probably look like. Each room is equipped with 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 dressers, and then behind these beds there are 2 closets as well. Students are allowed to bring their own mini fridge or microwave. You're also more than welcome to bring a TV as well. I recommend a fan, but you could see this is an idea of what these rooms look like, how these students have set them up. They're kind of cute with their photos and lights. You can decorate them however you'd like. At Potsdam, you can choose a roommate. So if you know somebody else coming from your school or you have a good friend, you can actually request to live together. And then outside of your dorm, each wing within the hall has a shared common bathroom, and there's also a shared common lounge area as well. And also within each of the residence halls, there are laundry facilities. So, just know that laundry is included within your fees. So you don't have to worry about having your bag of quarters to do laundry. And there are also kitchenettes scattered throughout this building as well. So if anybody likes to bake or cook, or you just want a break from on-campus food, just know that that is available for you as well. So we're going to move over into the townhouses. This is kind of, this is another look at another option for living on campus. The townhouses are, they're very popular just because they are some of the newer and more modern living options on campus. They're typically reserved for upperclassmen. Let's see if we have some pictures to look at in here. They're pretty nice because you live with 4 other people within your townhouse. You do have your own room within the townhouse, and then you can see there's like a little kitchen, your own little like living room, common area space. And then this is an idea of what the bedroom would look like, I believe. Yes. So again, it's a single room, so you have your own space, which is kind of nice too. So typically upperclassmen request to live in the townhouses. And we are starting to wrap up our tour. We're over all the way at the other end of campus. It's about a 10-minute walk from Raymond Hall over to Maxey Hall, which is furthest point to furthest point. Maxey Hall is actually my favorite place on campus. There's a lot to do over there. You don't necessarily have to be an athlete on campus to spend time over here. This first area that we're looking at is our turf field. So our soccer and lacrosse teams, this is where their games would be housed. And then let's take a look at what we have inside. So we do have a state-of-the-art fitness center at Potsdam. This is open for all students to use. It's typically open from very early in the morning. I want to say like 6 a.m. until usually like 9 or 10 p.m. So chances are, you'll find some free time between your classes and studying and your club obligations. You might find some time to come over here and let some steam out. So this is a good representation of what the fitness center looks like. We also have our gymnasium. So this is going to be the home for volleyball and basketball. We are D3 for athletics, if anybody is wondering. Our coaches do actively recruit, but they also do allow walk-on tryouts as well. If there's any sports that you guys are interested in, on our website, we do have an athletic recruitment form that you can fill out, and it just puts you on the coach's radar. So if there's anybody out there, thinking they might want to play sports in college, it might be a good idea to fill out that recruitment form and just see what happens. And so then we also have our ice arena. This is going to be the home to our men's and women's hockey teams on campus. So you can get a look at what this looks like. They also do open skate. I believe every Tuesday and Thursday night, you can head over there. They have skate rentals available for students. So if anybody likes to skate, just know that you can definitely continue to do that as well. And finally, we have our pool. Again, this is going to be the home for men's and women's swimming and diving, but they also do open swim hours too. So again, if you like to swim, or maybe you're a lifeguard, that there's a job opportunity for you over at the pool as well. So those are the panels. Let's see what other photos we've got in here to take a look at. So each year, excuse me, we do a Bear Pride Night, where all students will come out, they'll put all their Potsdam swag on. Usually different community members will come out as well to support the Bears. And usually there's a lot of different games happening that night. Usually we do a men's and women's basketball game. Usually there's a men and women's hockey game going on. So it's a really great time to kind of come out and show your support for our athletics. So I'll just click through some of these so you guys can see again. Some of our newest additions for sports, we do now have men's volleyball on campus, and we also actually have an esports team as well. So kind of not as athletic as what you typically think of, but esports is available for anybody that likes gaming and that side of things. Canoe Swamp, this is a really fun thing that students do every year. You have to try to get the other team's canoe to sink before they get yours to sink. So they do fun events like that over at the pool too. Ultimate Frisbee. So there's different intramural and club sports available as well. So again, if you like playing sports, but you don't want, that stress of being on a competitive team, just know that they do offer different intramurals throughout the school year. And we also have club sports. Right now, I believe we have cheerleading and rugby that we offer. So that's a peek over at Maxey Hall. I think the last two things on here are going to be more related to the surrounding area. So we'll take a look for those of you that haven't had a chance to visit Potsdam. This is Lehman Park, which is right across from campus. It's a great place to just come hang out, have some quiet time, maybe read a book, work on some homework. You can take a kayak or canoe out on the river. So it's a really just kind of a peaceful place to hang out. And then, of course, we have downtown Potsdam. So this is Market Street. You'll see there's different eateries, different boutiques throughout the street. I always recommend, if you haven't had a chance to come visit Potsdam, definitely come, drive through, come do a campus tour. Our admissions office, we are doing in-person tours right now, Monday through Friday. So definitely, swing out and we'll be able to accommodate you guys and do an official tour. This was just kind of a nice little sneak peek to see what things look like. So thanks so much for listening to me and taking a peek at what Potsdam has to offer. I'm going to stop my share and turn it back over to Toby.
I want to jump in for 1 second. I did type in the chat. If students do have questions, they can type them in the chat. And then as Toby's talking, Alex can see them and you can either type back or we can have them at the end. And if students have questions after the fact, they can just email Alex directly at Potsdam. Thank you. Wonderful. It's changed a little bit in 35 years, 30, whatever, how many years. But Toby, welcome. All excited about hearing about this program. This wasn't present when I was a student at Potsdam.
No, it was not. And actually, I am also an alum of SUNY Potsdam of 1989, so 2 years later. So no, this was not here. And this is why I am so passionate about applied learning, because I did not have the opportunity to engage in anything applied learning. So this is what you could do with us here. So this, I put it into the chat, the URL, if you want to take a look at it. But this is really who we are and what the Lougheed Center for Applied Learning and what we really believe in and engaging in this work. Because I hope that most of you, when you're coming to a college, that you have a goal at the end of it to, one, yes, learn and change and become who you are, but I hope you're going to get a career. I mean, that's what most people are doing at the end. And what the work we do is we try to guide you to get there. So a lot of things have to happen to become to become who you are and then to get to that career. So what we do is, you can see just about us, is there's the top line is my work, because I'm known as the internship guy. That's what I'm known as at SUNY Potsdam. So internships are there. I recommend them, while you're doing that. I talk to many people about this and you go, one of the pictures that Alex showed was a celebration of us with, you see the students that had the little hats on and the crowns. That was our 200th celebration. SUNY Potsdam is the oldest school in SUNY. So 1816 is when we were established, and we were a normal school. So what I try to explain to a lot of students is that if you come into education, and Chris was in education, knows what this is, you do something at the end of your training, and that is you go student teach. Well, what I do in my work, any major can do the same thing. You need to go out and do a full-time internship. It's what I believe in. Do something that's related to your career, because you know what? Every employer is asking that. So when you go out and try to get your first career field, they're going to go, well, what have you done for experience? I know, they're glad you have your BA. They're glad you have your bachelor's of science. They're glad that you have your bachelor's of music and things, but they're going to go, well, what did you do? What is your experience? How did you interact? What are you doing? So we can provide that for you in many different ways. Internships is one of them. That's the first one I'm showing you. We have student fellowships where you can go out and do research with the fellowships. That's what I was talking about. We have several ways to do research with our director. His name is Dr. Tom Baker. We have the Research and Creativity Center, which is our undergraduate research honors program. We have many Kilmer grants that can go out and do Kilmer research, is what it's called. We have career services. So we have career services right in the Lougheed Center for Applied Learning. So if you need help trying to find who you are, find your career field, find a major. If you need resume work, LinkedIn work, professionalism, how to write that cover letter, how to interview, how to find grad school, it's all in the same building. We help you right as soon as you get here, right until you go, and even as when you're an alum. So we help all of our SUNY Potsdam alumni. So if you become an alum of the college, we'll still help you. By the way, I talked with a geology alum 2 days ago, helping that student. I blew his mind. I gave him a website he didn't even know we had. Just blew his mind. He's like, to be honest with you, he was looking for jobs in Massachusetts. I showed him over 3,000 available. He said there was only 10 that he could find on Indeed. So I'm like, well, I'll change your mind. And I did. So that's what you can get from us. So we also have a law enforcement training institute, which is a accredited police academy with New York State. So if you come and you want to become a police officer, you can be certified in phase 1 employment training is what we call, it's called pre-employment training at SUNY Potsdam, and it's all done on campus. So you get 85% of the training that you would receive as a municipal, sheriff's, or entry-level policing position that you would have. You can get it right at SUNY Potsdam. I talked about the study abroad opportunities where you could either study away, which is within the United States, or you can study abroad. With COVID-19, everything's shut right now down for studying abroad, but we're hoping to get it back up, hopefully by spring of 2022. Fall still doesn't look like they're open in many countries quite yet, but we'll get back on, but we're starting to plan. You have to plan usually a year ahead of time anyways, so you can plan those times out. We have, if you want to just put your foot into the water of actually study abroad, do a short term. My nephew was here, he went to Jamaica. He was in Crane. He was teaching students, music in Jamaica for a break. We had a March break. He went to Jamaica. Why not? You have the time, do it while you're here. So we also have funding opportunities. That's the big one. So what we're trying to do is we have a fund called the Yes Fund. So if you're trying to do one of these opportunities with those, without that, let me see, it was 7 now up to $8.50 million. That's what we're doing to help you with scholarships, with funding opportunities to help you get there. So you can say yes. So if you're trying to do an internship and you want to go do it in Florida, but the housing is expensive, we're going to try to help you get that housing. I have students doing internships in Washington, D.C. I help them get housing funding to help them out to do that. There's internships going everywhere in the country. So that's what we're talking about to help fund. So I'm really excited about, you coming and looking at Potsdam if you want to, but I'll leave you with this kind of like, I kind of call it how I look at our clock tower. Okay, this is what I like to leave with students. So we have a clock tower that we're famous for. Alex showed it was on Saturday, but this is what I truly believe in. So in a clock tower, you have a base that holds the whole tower and the clock and the steeple. The base is our gen ed program. I took it when I was here. You took it when you were here. Alex, you had a gen ed program. It's what you build your foundation on. So you're in a liberal arts school. You're actually learning about a lot of things. Sciences, you're learning about some art. You're learning about music. You're learning about the social sciences. You have like a language. All of these build a great foundation. Okay. So then we have the column that holds up the clock and the steeple. And you wonder, what's all that about, Topes? Well, that's your major, because you're going to have a discipline. Now, the discipline trains you in what you're trying to do in your work as a major. Doesn't show you everything. I got my master's in counseling. I became a much better counselor after I had my bachelor's degree. So it does really not show you everything, but it does show you how to think in your discipline. Shows you how to react in your discipline, write in your discipline, and what you're doing. Okay. So then we go up a little higher and we have our famous clock. It's the clock that's on the tower. Well, what's the clock? Applied learning, baby. That's where you take this major and this gen ed and you apply it. You go out and apply, work on a study abroad, do an internship, do research, do a job shadow, do an informational interview, write your resume, do these things, put it all together to help you explore to the steeple. And guess what the steeple is? That's your entire journey, folks. That is you going to graduate school, getting that first $68,000 career field that you've been waiting for. That's the top of the steeple. And you're going to continue to learn throughout your life. You will continue to change your jobs, work. It's just how it is. But we're trying to get you that foundation ready to go. That's what I believe in the clock tower. That's what I believe in. It's what we do. I know Alex believes in it. It's what we do. And we're here to help you. So Chris, we'll take any questions if we have some time for questions. That's why we look at it. We're perfect. 12:45.
I don't know if we have any questions at this point. I know there are a lot of schools that are in the throes of some state testing, but it is, as an alumnus, I'm obviously biased. It is a beautiful campus. You see all the natural things about living in the Adirondacks. You have a waterway as a park by the campus. You're not too far from the mountains, and you're not too far from Canada. And you can go and have an international experience in one of the cities just on the other side of the border. but I gotta say the shift with the applied learning that Potsdam has done in giving kids experience to be able to apply what they have learned, get experience and take it to the next level is quite amazing. It really is. Let me see. I think we might have well, oh, we got our, okay, we have our emails in there. Perfect. This will also be recorded, which it is being recorded, and it will be shared with schools. So that, you know, guidance counselors will use it. We'll use it throughout CFES Brilliant Pathways. And we as a CFES Brilliant Pathway community, starting on May 10th, we have our early college and career awareness week. Lots of different things. I will be talking to Toby about Potsdam having a piece of it, and looking forward to sharing our partnership with them as we all continue to support our students, not only in the North Country, but throughout the country.
Great.
Alex and Toby, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Early afternoon.
You too.
All
Bye,
right.
Alex. See you later.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.